You see the shadow in the back of the room. He's the one directing traffic. He is the one they're all afraid of. He's the one that's King Slime. He's pulling the shots. He is the most dangerous of the 28, Judge. And I implore you not to grant him a bond. He is dangerous. The setup they've given to you is actually going to be less control, not more. If he gets a burner, Judge, and the court may know this, a lot of the communications that Mr. Williams is on FaceTime because it's not traceable, it's not trackable. And we know that to be their MO. He gets a burner, he gets in there, he runs his gang from inside, and he won't get that, and no one's going to throw his cell. Judge, I will also say that we have taken proffers from fellow gang members from Mr. Williams. Some are on this indictment, some are not. They have stated uniformly that Mr. Williams is dangerous. They are afraid of him, that if they cross him, he will kill them and their family. And they were very clear about that.
The concerns that I have are some of the statements that he's made about the threats and to others, and that have been chronicled in particular in some of the predicate acts that have been stated for the court's consideration. Whether or not those acts, as Mr. Adams has pointed out, because they have to be proven at trial, is a discussion for another day. But at this point in time, in the aggregate, those particular discussions, in particular, the proffer from the people that the state has talked to already, the group chat that from 2015 starting, anybody goes into a courtroom and tells the honest truth, they'll be fucking killed, pardon me for the language, and this threat is still being talked about. So that is of a concern. Of the concerns that this court has is danger to persons and threats to intimidate other witnesses and obstruct the administration of justice. So I have some concerns about the flight that I share with Judge Wolf also indicated, but and I'm not going to hold it against him that he is very successful and has significant means, but those two factors in particular, threats to persons in the community or poses significant risk of intimidation of witnesses, otherwise obstructing administration of justice. The court has considered a number of the predicate statements, and for those reasons in the aggregate, I'm going to deny bond at this time.
Jesus, check it out now. Holy. Now, I know they say the slimes are represented by the snakes, but I hope the snakes catch the rats because they say they hate the rats. Now, if you guys don't know, 28 people in the YSL were charged for basically being in a racketeering criminal organization. Now, I got to tell y'all the truth, man. For 28 people to get charged and nobody cooperates, also the people who probably didn't get charged yet but are facing charges, who probably are getting interviewed this and the third, somebody gotta talk, okay? And pretty much the prosecutor already told us they're in the process of talking to people right now. Now, they used all of this to get Young Thug bond denied. Okay, he was trying to get out of jail, and pretty much he had a bunch of people speak on his behalf. He had little kids who were saying, yo, we look up to him, we love him, he's a great guy. Kevin Laws, his record label owner, showed up like, yo, Thug wouldn't hurt a fly. He just makes a lot of money for us. Let him out of jail, okay? Pretty much the prosecutor came back and said, hold up, Your Honor. We got the stuff, okay? Number one, this is what they've been saying. They said Young Thug's been lying because his lawyer came in court to say, he should be reasonably believed and to let out of jail because he doesn't do drugs, he doesn't do a bunch of stuff. The prosecutor came out and said, yo, I don't think they realize we record his jail calls, and he's been calling his people on the jail phone crying about the fact that he needs to detox because he was a drug head before. Now he can't do drugs, and now he's on stable. So if we let him out, probably going back to the drugs. Secondly, they said we ran up in the crib. They had all type of weapons up in there. Okay, Call of Duty type of stuff. Okay, GTA weapon wheel type of stuff. Okay, they said Young Thug had sawed-off shotties. They said he had fully automatic weapons. He had scars. He had all type of stuff you might need to get a DLC or you might see in GTA RP. Okay, basically saying that Thug had an arsenal of weapons at the crib. Also, people ran out the crib, okay? Not only that, they said the guns was within the reach of kids. They said, you want us to let him out of jail that he could go back to that? Oh, hell no, okay? They weren't even done. They came with a third thing, which is crazy, okay? They said, we got current proffers from current and former YSL members that will say he is the leader, he is the most feared person, and if they cross him, they might get killed. Shraggy? Now, what are they talking about? Basically, the prosecutor kind of revealed his hand a little bit to say, you know what's going on right now? We're talking to a few people in YSL, and a few people who used to be YSL, and we don't know if those people are charged or not charged, right? Because, hey, there's a lot of people that got charged and a lot of people that didn't. But they said they had proffers. And if you don't know what a proffer is, basically, you have to exchange information usually for some benefit from the government. Now, maybe like you're not going to be charged at all, right? Maybe they're just trying to subpoena you in court. However, if you don't want to get subpoenaed, give up the info, okay? If you don't want to appear in this, appear on the stand, give up some info. And people are working with the police, okay? So really, that's what's going on. Now, we don't know if some of his guys are flipping, but they have made statements, according to the prosecutor, saying Thug is a menace. He's the most dangerous. He's King Slime. And if they cross him, they're in fear of their life, and they believe he'll kill them. Now, you know what that's done? The judge now believes that, well, if we let Thug out, there's no way we can monitor him. Also, they said that Thug don't really do a lot of texting. He don't do a lot of regular phone calls. Usually he'll have somebody else do a FaceTime call and he'll give orders via the FaceTime call. Why? Because it's harder to record and trace and intercept. Damn. How they know all that? Somebody's talking, okay? Now, this is what is going on right here because, listen, it looks like the government is trying to get a few people to flip. They might be flipping. And what they're kind of pointing out with Thug is that Thug is just the leader. You can't trust him to be free. They're also saying that the witnesses that they have presented so far have all claimed they've gotten threats on their life. Even though they can't say it's from Young Thug or Young Thug ordered it, they're saying everybody's getting threatened. So, with all that in consideration, the judge said that Young Thug basically is going to remain behind bars. All right? Again, a lot of people testified. This was a long bond hearing, but the judge ain't going, okay? So, what do we got? They're claiming he's a drug addict. They're claiming he's a flight risk. They're claiming he's a threat to not only his kids, they're claiming he's a threat to people in the community. They're claiming that, listen, the families of some of the people who died around the area that they believe his gang was actually operating in, those people are relieved that he got locked up. And basically, they're saying that people would fear for their life if he got out because he might and he has the reach to do anything to protect his reputation and his name and his freedom, which even means doing more crime, okay? So essentially, what this means is that Young Thug will not be released from jail. They talked about a possible trial date, which would be in January 2023, which I'm going to be honest, is pretty early, okay? However, Young Thug's lawyer tried to offer everything, okay? They tried to offer 24-hour monitoring, okay? Both electronically and in person with a 24-hour police officers that would be on duty. By the way, the prosecutor said that police precincts actually refute that because they're saying if any of their cops work for Thug, they would be looking at their cops a little way. You feel me? Because they're saying that Young Thug's been one of the biggest people doing the crime, okay? Also, the Young Thug's lawyer said they were down to have people watch him all types of times of the day, security firms. They wanted to do closed circuit TV, home monitoring. They were down to say the home could be subject to search at any time. No electronics, no internet would be allowed in the home. Okay, they said only thing they would need is a music studio. He could get drugs tested all the time. And they said it would cost him $1 million out of pocket, like pretty much per year until this gets started. But they were down to do it. Everybody was crying, but the judge still said no goddamn bail. Okay, now it's kind of interesting because you know what this is telling me? The prosecutor is definitely letting it be known that if it's one man out of the 28 they locked up that they want to do the most time and do not want to get out is going to be one Jeffrey King Slime Young Thug Williams. That's not a good thing, okay? Pray for Young Thug, pray for YSL. Hopefully these things are just all allegations, and well, they're all allegations now. Hopefully they're not true, because hopefully we could get him back to doing music, and hopefully these things are just fabrication. All right, get a call, Max. Guys, like and subscribe to Bush Academics.